Flyers and Bruins underway. They have split their first 2 games this season
since the Olympic break. Good thing they're going, because they've had some struggles from their top goal scorer in Morgan Geekie.
Shot from Hampus Lindholm, deflected on the way in and then gloved.
One of 2 things. I mean, it's great, but it's also unrealistic to maintain a pace like that. So he has certainly regressed back to the mean.
Here comes Dvorak with Konechny. Dvorak shoots. He scores. Christian Dvorak on the Flyers' first shot of the game. 1-0 Philadelphia.
They don't do it often, but a good wall play here by the youngster Porter Martone. It's his 4th NHL game, and he makes a heck of a touch pass to Christian Dvorak to allow the Flyers to get out clean. And the Flyers typically in situations like this have the habit of trying to overpass it, Jody, but this time the shot was taken and it was a perfect hit.
They've been better off the rush this year too, haven't they, the Flyers? They've got that speed.
Shot by York is gloved by looking for Pasternak. Puck comes back on to McAvoy, and now Pasternak with it. Pasternak 29 goals on the season. Here's McAvoy shooting up high, stopped by Vladar. Here's Sanheim into the Bruins zone. Now Konechny for Sanheim, moves in front. Backhand shot stopped by Korpisalo. Wow. And then Sanheim gives the puck away. Drysdale flips it ahead. Here's Reichel for the Bruins. Stick save by Vladar. Here's Dadonov.
After the Olympic break, a small change to their D zone. It's been effective.
Shot by Dvorak, puts the net. Oh, Korpisalo able to come back and stop the Konechny attempt.
It was close.
Play continues. Fans were looking for a penalty call. Konechny moves the puck along. Here's Dvorak. Down low. Back out it comes for a shot by Ristolainen. Then Martone.
5 years since they've been in the playoffs.
Now it looks like a sellout here this afternoon.
Shot by Drysdale, then Michkov looked to bank it in off Korpisalo.
Yeah, Couturier just got back to the bench to my left after that conversation with McAvoy, and he'll take that shot in the face for a power play and an opportunity here for the Flyers to build on their lead.
Flyers last in the league this season. Here comes Tippett. Now Michkov. Michkov between the circles, off the post. As the penalty expires. That was the first shot attempt by the Flyers on the power play. And now Corrali with Kastelik. Stick save by Vladar on Kastelik. Here's Aspero shooting. Corrali looking for the puck, and it's covered by Vladar. Geekie's pass blocked off. Aspero steps up, shoots, saved by Vladar, and then Pasternak stopped as well.
Save as he's able to match the speed and make the save. Here's a rebound by Vladar. The reason why the rebound was left is
this is his 6th game against Vladar in the National Hockey League. Now a steal, moving in is Grundstrom, and he's stopped by Korpisalo. And now Aspero onto the stick of McAvoy. Here comes Zacha. Back across for a shot by Geekie, and that's kicked out by Vladar. To win their first Stanley Cup. 1-0 in Game 6. Rick McLeish with the goal. Bernie Perrott the shutout. And speaking of Flyers goaltenders,
I don't know if you need to get into it anymore, but there's no question that Don Sweeney, the general manager of the Boston Bruins, fleeced them on that trade, and Fraser Minton looks like he's going to have a heck of an NHL future.
And a first-round pick, top 5 protected. In the Brandon Carlo deal, stick save made by Vladar. You had a look at what's at stake. Out for Drysdale straight away. Now Sanheim with it, backs it up. Shot stopped by Korpisalo from Drysdale.
That's why the Flyers weren't able to get set up.
Battery pass from Pasternak. Here's Hampus Lindholm across, and a good save made by Vladar on low ride.
He certainly has a role here in Boston on that second line.
One save made by Korpisalo. Third power play for the Flyers. Jody, you just talked to Rick talking about the bad advantage and what he wants to see. The stuff attempt in New York against the Rangers tonight. Got by Andre, missed the net. Beachcoff controls. Now Kate shoots. Puck is loose. Korpisalo looking for it.
Boston starts the third period on the power play. No Morgan Geekie on the top unit. That's the way they had this same unit at the end of the second. Sort of interesting for a guy that they're trying to get going to not be on that top unit with Pastrnak.
Grundstrom in the box for another minute 10. Christian Dvorak with the game's only goal early in the first period for the Philadelphia Flyers. Here's Pastrnak dropping it back for Zacha. Now McAvoy. Middlestat carries in deep. Back out to McAvoy. And now Pastrnak fires off Vladar. Centered pass. Scores. Zacha. Pavel Zacha ties the game at 1 with a power play goal.
He's been for so long. See how he switches up with to that side. The one-timer. Vladar not able to control that shot from distance. And a little touch play. And Zacha is able to put it home. A heads-up play here by Middlestat to tip it to Zacha, Jody.
Oh, such a good play under poise. As the Flyers to my left are just double-checking to make sure that's all clean.
In Indianapolis, in a neutral site game. This Flyers looking to take the lead. Shot by Bump. And now Zadorov through center. The big defenseman into the Flyers over the shot. That hit Vladar up high. And then Geekie puts it through the crease.
The last second, it looked like just as Vladar shook it off.
Up the boards. Here comes Konecny into the Bruins zone. And a save by Korpisalo and Martin.
What a good save that was.
Now it's Pastrnak cutting wide. Pastrnak looking for the stick of Elias Lindholm. Cleared ahead by Martin. Here's Dvorak with Konecny. Joined by Martin. Konecny. Martin stopped again.
And then he goes down the other way, Jody, for another opportunity.
It's incredible to watch. Look at him. He's got his... that's how he plays, too.
And here you have Martin in his 4th NHL game. Already compared to Corey Perry. Now Dvorak dropping it back. Drysdale shoots. Oh, the right pad save on Forster.
Here's the chance by Drysdale. Watch the right pad of Korpisalo. Unbelievable save there by the Bruins netminder.
So the Flyers and Bruins will each earn a point. We head to overtime. It's a huge point for both teams, and one more point still available. Cates for the Flyers, Minton and Zacha on the Bruins side all have 2 overtime goals this season. Kastelik won the draw, heads to the bench. Replaced by Zacha. Here's Pastrnak with Zacha and McAvoy. Pastrnak gives it away. Here's Sanheim for Forster. Sanheim cutting from the net. Forster across. Sanheim to the ice. Battle for the pocket underneath Sanheim. Zacha works it free. 3-on-3 hockey in overtime. Picked off by Tippett. Here's Owen Tippett with a shot, and that's gloved by Korpisalo.
And then Tippett with a chance, Jody.
Yeah, I mean, just too blatant.
2-man advantage. Here is Forster across to Zegras. Now Forster once again. Here's Zegras down low in front. Oh, Martin stop! They score!
First of many for Porter Martin. He was stopped on the initial shot as the Flyers work it around and down low. Korpisalo robs him, but Martin able to find the rebound, get it backhand to forehand. And after several close calls in games prior and in tonight, Porter Martin finally has his first National Hockey League goal. They don't get any bigger than that as the Flyers find themselves.